Alhamdulillah, wahda, salatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Insha'Allah, in our series, Creed of the Rightly Guided, we will be doing our next aqidah, and that is, nothing occurs except what Allah the Exalted wills. Nothing occurs except what Allah the Exalted wills. In other words, everything happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing can happen without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna Allah yahkuma yurid. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordains what He wills. Surah Ma'idah, verse 1. Question comes that if everything happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this means that people are disbelieving. With the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people are committing evil. With the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the answer to that is, there's a difference between irada, will, and number two, amr, command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In order to understand this, we can take an example of a teacher giving an exam. So when the teacher gives students the exam, in the question paper it is written, choose the correct answer. So that statement, choose the correct answer, is a command, right? And then a question is written and choices are given, choice A, choice B, choice C, so on and so forth. Now the student has the choice to choose the answer, and the teacher is in the examination room keeping an eye on the students. Now imagine the student chooses the wrong answer. The teacher sees the student choosing the wrong answer. Question is, does the teacher has the power to stop the student from choosing the wrong answer? Does the teacher have the power? Does the teacher have the capability of saying, no, this is the wrong answer? So the answer is yes. The teacher does have the power. But will the teacher do this? No. Why? Because this is the exam. So again, the teacher has the power, the capability of telling the student that this is the wrong answer. But the teacher will not do that. Why? Because this is the exam. So this is, you can say, the will of the teacher, right? Allowing the student to choose wrong is the will of the teacher. Teacher had the power to prevent it, but didn't, right? So you can say, in other words, the student did wrong with the will of the teacher. But just because the student did wrong with the will of the teacher does not necessarily mean teacher is pleased with the answer, right? Let's just say exam's over, student get the result, and the student fails the exam, and he goes to the teacher and says, I failed because that was your will. I should not be punished because I failed with your will. You had the power to prevent wrong. You did not. So this means this was your will. I failed because your will. I should not be punished. Teacher will say, no. Yes, it is my will. Yes, I allowed it to happen. But the reason why I did not stop you was this was a test, right? And just because I allowed you to choose wrong doesn't mean I'm pleased with that. Similar is the case of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not disbelieve, do not do wrong, right? On the other hand, you have the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power to stop wrong, but He would not. Why? Because this is a test, right? And just because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is allowing someone to do wrong doesn't mean Allah is pleased with it. Just like the teacher is not pleased with the wrong answer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with evil. La yarda li'ibadin kufr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with disbelieving. So the irada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is different than the amr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the choice to choose between right and wrong. That is the amr of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's amr is do right. I have the choice right now to do right or wrong. But the irada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to do with allowing me to continue that action. If I am doing wrong, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power to prevent it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not. Why? Because it is a test. Then another question comes, that how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punish us for committing evil when He Himself is the one who created it? If He created evil and I committed wrong, I should not be held accountable. It should be, it's not fair. Just like if a student, says, now imagine a student does that, says to teacher, hey, it's not my fault you put a wrong choice. You should, out of 4 choices, 1 was right and 3 were wrong. So it's your fault that you put more evil than good. We all know we would not accept that. Similar is the case of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This world is a test. If there's no evil, then how do I know what's good? If I do not have a choice between good and evil, how do I know? How do I pass the test? If I don't have a wrong answer and the right answer, so how do I pass the test? If it was all wrong answers, then yes, it's not fair. If the teacher gives a question and 4 choices, all of them are wrong, then student has the right to say that it's not my fault. You never gave me the choice of the right answer. You never gave the right answer, so how can I choose? You only gave wrong answers, right? Or wrong options. I never had the choice. Yes, in that case, it would be fair. But if the teacher is giving one answer which is right and other 3 are wrong, even though evil is more than good, doesn't mean that we choose evil. The test is to choose good while there is so much evil. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us good and the evil. Now it's on me to choose good, and when I choose that good, that's when I will pass the test. So again, summary is that nothing occurs except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, or in other words, everything happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, there's a difference between the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command is do good. Now we have a choice to do good or not. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will is anything I'm doing, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to stop me, Allah can. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to prevent me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can. He has the power for that. And last is, this world is a test. So just like in an exam, you have a right answer and you have the wrong answer. Similarly, in this world, you have good and you have evil. And evil is there to see if I would choose evil or good. If I choose good, then that's passing the test and be rewarded for that on the Day of Judgment. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a true understanding, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to convey the true message of Islam. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.